Welcome back to 128KB, Andy here, and today I'm going to be showing you the best way of connecting your Dreamcast to your modern TV. Okay, I might have lied a little bit. Okay, so I'm not going to be showing you the best way of getting your Dreamcast on your TV because that is actually via DC HDMI, which is a physical mod to your Dreamcast. We're not going over that today. That's a little bit too in-depth and I don't have the time to actually do it. So I wanted an easier way. I wanted the sort of like generalized, most consumer sort of accessible way of connecting your Dreamcast to your modern telly, because if you're like me, we have a Sony Bravia TV, you know, one of the big master things that are like tiny thin and it's modern, you know, it's a 4K TV essentially. So when I wanted to play my Dreamcast, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's great. I've got my AV cables right here. Oh, hang on. The TV don't know what that is because the TV ain't old enough. You know, it doesn't even, it was before its own time, okay? So you've got to give the TV a little bit of a break. So we went, okay, don't worry, we've got another solution because the Dreamcast comes with the aerial adapter. So you can actually plug it into your telly and then scan through the channels, going old school. If you're not old enough to realize what I'm talking about, well, then you've saved yourself a lot of pain and hassle. If you are old enough to know what I'm talking about, well, then you know it's a pain in the arse, basically. So we thought, yeah, let's connect this up to the telly, and even then it won't scan to find it. We've tried everything and it just won't do it. So I've read that some modern TVs, especially super modern ones like ours, just the signal's too weak to find. We've tried absolutely everything and it wasn't possible. So I started looking into alternative ways to actually play our Dreamcast, because behind the camera here we've got a big shelf full of games and everything, and we've got nearly 2 shelves just full of Dreamcast games because, you know, Christina loved her Dreamcast when she was a kid. We've got 2 of them. We've got all the controllers, the little save cards where you can play on them as well. So we got everything for it, even all this old cables and stuff like that, but we just couldn't play it properly. And also, even if we got it to work via the aerial method, it's the worst possible way you can play a Dreamcast. So I was looking into sort of getting it on to our telly, and that's when I saw the DC HDMI mods, but again, lacking the time and the effort to be able to do that and mess with one of our 2 Dreamcasts. I didn't really want to go down that route. I wanted a quick, easy way of being able to play and enjoy all of our Dreamcast games, because the Dreamcast is just awesome. If you've had one before, brilliant. If you haven't, go get one. You can get them fairly cheap. Some of the games ain't that cheap though, I'll tell you that. But anyway, so we found this, and this was highly recommended by pretty much every other sort of retro sort of gaming place. And this is the Kaico HDMI adapter purely for the Dreamcast. So this here was about £35 here in the UK. So, you know, it's not too cheap, not too expensive, but this actually, let's just go through it, shall we? Should I just read you the back? The majority of modern televisions have connectivity via HDMI. Yeah, they do. And lack some of the older inputs which retro consoles use. That's correct, because, you know, AVI cables won't work on our telly. Okay, so with the Kaico HDMI adapter, you can bring your old Sega Dreamcast back to life on a newer television and relive those gaming classics. It's a plug and play solution. And then I thought, hang on, this is probably American. So, you know, it's going to be NTSC, it's not going to work because I'm a PAL region, or vice versa. If you're in America, you might be thinking the same thing. Oh, he's English, you know, it might not work over here. No, hang on a sec, because on the back, there's a nice big sticker that says compatible with NTSC and PAL televisions, works worldwide, which is excellent. It supports full 480p resolution at 60 Hertz, which is what the Dreamcast's maximum output resolution is. So that's brilliant. And then it is essentially compatible with anything that has an HDMI port, which is awesome. So inside here, obviously you get the quick start guide. Let's have a quick look at it. So in here, it's quite a nice booklet, to be fair. You've got an introduction and it just says the features, which we've said, again, they're sort of emphasizing on plug and play. Inside the box itself is the adapter. Now I thought this was actually going to be sort of something that hooked on to the AV out or anything like that, but no, it's a complete replacement. It's a direct replacement. So on one end, you've got the actual connector for the Dreamcast itself, the proprietary Dreamcast end. And then on the other, which I really liked, is the fact that it's got an HDMI out. So this is not a cable that goes from the Dreamcast straight to your telly. I wasn't a fan of that personally, because it needs to have that adapter inside. Now this in here is going to be doing the magic. So I really like the fact that you've got this and the converter, which you can then choose your own HDMI and plug that in and plug it out anywhere. And it's a nice sort of length. It's not too long, not too short, so you can have that somewhere behind your setup, nice and easily accessible. And essentially it is just plug and play. So you just plug this into the back of your Dreamcast, plug this into your telly with an HDMI lead, and then that's it. Select the HDMI output on your telly. And the one thing that really, really worried me is that some old consoles, especially the Dreamcast, off-centered the image on modern TVs. So if you did get it to work, it was actually kind of like shimmied over. So you'd have a big black bar on one side or wherever, and then you were kind of missing parts of the game, but not with the Caico. The Caico automatically recenters the image to fill the screen perfectly in center, which is brilliant. So I was really happy to see that. And it is so easy to use. And again, at just £35, I really do think this is something that everybody can afford. So if you've got a backlog of games like we do and a Dreamcast that works, and you've got the controllers and stuff like that, you just want to relive your memories and have a bit of fun, well, that's brilliant. But the other good thing about having it as an HDMI out is the fact that we can now plug it into a capture card. And what that means is we can very easily record the footage from our Dreamcast, which is absolutely brilliant. So if you want to see actual Dreamcast gameplay and just anything else really to do about it, or to do with retro games in general, smash that like and subscribe button, and make sure you head over to 128kb.co.uk for all things gaming hardware and tech, including a podcast as well as gameplays, reviews, all sorts of good stuff. So go there and do that. Anyway, I'm Andy, this is 128kb. I'll see you next time.